With the 16th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Hansen from Zibo, China, and the Qingdao Eagles.
This will be on SportsCenter, there's no doubt about it.
Hansen, still a lid on the bucket. Good block by Hansen.
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 Picture this. You're 20 years old, sitting in the crowd at the NBA draft, not in the green room like the top prospects, but literally in the stands with regular fans. You're from a country where only 2 players have ever been drafted in the first round, and the last one was 18 years ago. Then suddenly every camera in the arena swings toward you. Your name just got called 16th overall. That's exactly what happened to Hansen. To be honest, I felt a bit sleepy waiting in the crowd, and suddenly all the cameras moved toward me, and I was like, this can't be happening. I wasn't expecting it this early. His legs went completely numb walking down those steps. But this moment wasn't just about one kid's dream. It was about breaking an 18-year barrier that had kept Chinese players out of the NBA's first round, and proving that sometimes the biggest barriers exist only in our minds. To understand what Hansen's selection really means, you have to understand the crushing weight of expectation he carries. China has 300 million people who regularly play basketball. That's nearly the entire population of the United States. Yet since Yao Ming retired in 2011, Chinese basketball has been searching for its next NBA star like a nation searching for hope. The barriers facing Chinese players aren't just about talent. They're about perception, stereotypes, and a system that historically produced players who looked impressive on paper but couldn't adapt to NBA pace and culture. ESPN's analysis noted, China has been waiting for its next NBA star after Yi Jianlian's modest success, and Jokic's brief NBA stint highlighted just how difficult this journey really is. But Hansen's story begins with him actively rejecting the very sport that would define his life. I hated the sport in the beginning. Despite his father Yang Lin's constant encouragement to play outdoors, this wasn't the typical Chinese basketball prodigy narrative. This was a kid who had to fall in love with the game on his own terms. The transformation was gradual but undeniable. By 2020, scouts discovered him during an inter-school competition, and what they saw broke every mold of what a Chinese big man was supposed to be.
My teammates, they are great shooter, and some of them are great penetrator. So for me, I just try to make the play and make everyone stay engaged in the game. So just enjoy the game together.
This wasn't about individual dominance. It was about something Chinese players had always been criticized for lacking: true basketball IQ and the ability to make others better. Hansen was rewriting the script before anyone even knew his name. The nickname that would change everything came from an unlikely source: his passing ability. Picture a 7'1" center making no-look passes that would make Magic Johnson proud, orchestrating offense like a point guard trapped in a giant's body. The Chinese Jokic comparison wasn't just about style, it was about shattering the biggest barrier of all: the assumption that Chinese players couldn't think of the game at NBA level.
He's good. He's good. I think I'm happy when he gets in the prime that I'm going to be out of the league probably no, I'm not actually. Yeah, he's talented.
Hansen's response to the comparison was pure humility. I think the baby joker or being compared to Yao are a big honor. I just try to learn from everyone, every good player, and try to improve myself every day. But the numbers told a different story. This wasn't just hype. His 2023 FIBA Under-19 World Cup performance became legendary. 12.6 points, 10.4 rebounds, 4.7 assists, and a tournament-leading 5.0 blocks per game. One NBA scout noted, he's got the size, he's a really good passer, and he's incredibly skilled, especially around the basket. But what really caught attention was his basketball IQ, the way he saw plays developing 3 passes ahead. In his CBA debut season at just 18, Hansen did something unprecedented. He won both Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. His stats were historic: 16.6 points, 10.5 rebounds, and 3.0 assists while shooting 58.6% from the field. But more importantly, he was doing it with a style that had never been seen from a Chinese player: passing, shooting threes, and orchestrating offense like a guard. The barrier he was breaking wasn't just about making the NBA, it was about proving Chinese players could be more than just big bodies who dominated through size. Hansen was showing the world that Chinese basketball intelligence could compete with anyone, anywhere. Draft night 2025 will be remembered as one of the biggest shocks in NBA history. ESPN's Jonathan Hollinger admitted nobody had Yang as a first-rounder. Literally nobody. Most mock drafts had him as a second-round pick or undrafted entirely. But Portland Trail Blazers GM Joe Cronin had been watching, planning, and believing when nobody else would.
Young, high-end skill set, his ability to pass, his basketball IQ, functionality in the post, his ability to step out. We think he'll, be a good free throw shooter. We think he'll make perimeter jump shots as well. Be pretty versatile in the post with his size and IQ.
Portland didn't just pick Hansen, they traded up to get him, giving Memphis the 11th pick plus future assets. But here's where the story gets emotional. Hansen wasn't even in the green room. He was sitting in the stands like a regular fan because nobody, including Hansen himself, expected this moment. His raw reaction captures everything. I wasn't expecting it this early, and his legs went numb walking down to shake Commissioner Adam Silver's hand. The cultural significance was immediate and overwhelming. Hansen's mother, Ju Jing, said emotionally, "We hope he can play hard here and win honor for our country." This wasn't just about basketball. This was about representing 1.4 billion people and proving that Chinese players belonged on the world's biggest stage. Coach Chauncey Billups had called him the best player in the gym during his pre-draft workout, but even Portland was shocked at how early they could get him. The barriers that had kept Chinese players out of the first round for 18 years had just been obliterated by a kid who once hated basketball. What happened next changed everything about how the world saw Chinese athletes. Instead of giving some polished corporate response about honor and hard work, Hansen delivered a quote that made him an instant global sensation.
Sometimes I sleep. I like play PS5. And I like eat.
This wasn't the carefully managed image Chinese athletes usually presented. This was pure Gen Z authenticity that transcended cultural barriers. Suddenly, kids around the world saw themselves in this 7 feet 1 inch giant who just wanted to play video games and take naps. His first NBA social media post was equally perfect. "Hello NBA, my name is Hansen Yang." The post exploded across Chinese social media, making him an instant celebrity. But Hansen's authenticity went deeper than viral quotes. On draft night, he wore a traditional jade pendant beneath his suit, a symbol of harmony and ancestral protection that connected him to thousands of years of Chinese culture. His name, Hansen, means vast forest in Chinese, and he called landing in Portland a wonderful arrangement by fate, given the city's famous Douglas fir forests. This cultural bridge building was unprecedented. Previous Chinese athletes often felt pressure to choose between being authentically Chinese or globally appealing. Hansen refused to choose, and the world embraced him for it. Chinese fans began planning trips to Portland, and American fans started learning about Chinese basketball culture. The barrier he was breaking wasn't just about basketball skills. It was about proving that Chinese athletes could be globally beloved while staying true to their cultural identity. Hansen's humble perspective on his newfound fame. "I think I'm not popular. I'm just nobody from China." But the numbers told a different story. He was becoming one of the most followed rookies in NBA history. Summer League 2025 became Hansen's stage to prove the doubters wrong. His debut against Golden State was supposed to be a learning experience. Instead, it was a statement. His first game stats, 10 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and 3 blocks showcased exactly why Portland shocked the world by drafting him. But it was his second game that truly silenced critics. 15 points, 3 three-pointers, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks against New Orleans. NBC Sports' Kurt Helene noted, "That went better than expected." His Summer League debut went as well as could be hoped. The Ringer was even more impressed, calling him one of the spotlight stealers of the entire Summer League. Hansen's response to his success was typically humble. "I can do better after what many considered a stellar debut." But the coaches weren't surprised. Billups explained, "What I love the most is how he plays the game. His IQ is really, really high. He plays the game the right way. I would feel very comfortable putting him in a game right now. He's that good. The barriers that had defined Chinese players for decades were crumbling in real time. This wasn't about raw potential or future development. Hansen was NBA ready right now. One analyst called him the best story of Summer League, noting his well-rounded stat lines and elite ability to process the game at NBA speed. What made this even more remarkable was the pressure he was handling. Every Chinese basketball fan was watching, every critic was waiting for him to fail, and every stereotype about Chinese players was being tested. Hansen wasn't just succeeding, he was thriving under pressure that would crush most 20-year-olds. Yang Hansen's story isn't just about one player making the NBA, it's about redefining what's possible for an entire generation. His advice to young Chinese players, "Don't overthink everything, just go for it boldly," represents a fundamental shift from the cautious, systematic approach that had limited Chinese basketball for decades. The boy who once hated basketball has become the symbol of Chinese basketball's future, proving that barriers exist to be broken, not accepted. His journey from a reluctant player in Zibo to the 16th overall NBA draft pick carries the hopes of 300 million fans, while his authentic humility suggests he's ready for whatever comes next. As Yao Ming advised him, the draft is just a small part of their entire career or even their life. What really matters is the path they take afterward.
It doesn't matter what happened tomorrow. I mean, the draft is just the one step for in his long career, so keep going.
Hansen's path forward has already changed what's possible for Chinese basketball players, and his NBA career has only just begun. The barriers have been broken. The doubt has been silenced. The Chinese Jokic is here, and basketball will never be the same.